Hello everyone, Ring here with some more Demon Bluff. Look, another hunter who says 4 or more. I can't remember the last time I've had a hunter say 4 or more and be truthful. Okay. We could have a drunk, or both of those outcasts could be real. There's only one pair of evil. Well, if the knitter is evil, then she's actually telling the truth. If the knitter is telling the truth, then there's actually no way for it to be one pair of evil. Okay. Yes, the knitter had to be corrupted. Unfortunately, the plague doctor did not find the correct evil. There's no more corruption since the plague doctor. Since the plague doctor corruption was already accounted for. Yeah, and also demons will never disguise outcasts, so we actually know the bombardier is real. Jester is telling the truth. Oh, witch is not one away. Yeah. Huh. Alright, we got another lying hunter. Okay. Is it possible this medium is telling the truth? Well, then 6 would be corrupted. 7 would be the puka. Well, we know the bishop is telling the truth. And it's impossible for this bombardier to be fake. So 7 and 8 are villager and minion. Okay, so I guess 7 cannot be a demon, which means that it's... Yeah, 7 is not a demon, so 7 is not the puka. So if 5 is telling the truth, then 6 is a real baker. That's impossible, because if 6 was corrupted, then 7 would be a puka, and that's not possible. So 6 must not be a real baker. Okay. Alright, is this fortune teller truthful? No. Okay. Left side is more evil. This medium is lying. We don't know if the medium is corrupted. Closest evil is clockwise. That is true. So the poet must be good. Yeah, if the poet was the puka, then the poet will be telling the truth. Closest evil is clockwise. I think 5 has to be the puka. 4 is corrupted, and 2 is telling the truth. Alright. We only have one outcast, so there isn't room for a wretch and anybody else. Alright, truthful alchemist. I guess we don't know about these people. Alright, 7 claims that 1 or 2 is a twin minion. Okay. Well, we can't have 2 oracles. So one of them has to be a twin minion, in fact, since the puka would not disguise as an oracle if another oracle exists. So if 5 was the twin minion, then 7 would be lying. And so then 7 would have to be evil as well. So no matter which of these I assume is evil, 7 is a safe kill. Awesome. So 1 and 2 are good. 5 is telling the truth. The judge is lying. And the judge cannot be corrupted. Two evils next to this lover. Well, we know the wretch counts as evil, so the lover is accusing the plague doctor of being evil. Okay. We got a disagreement between the bard and the poet. We do have 2 outcasts. You know, what does this fortune teller think? Alright, fortune teller's a liar. 1 is evil. 4, 5, and 9. Okay. Oh, we have 2 empresses. And their claims are very similar, but not exactly the same. They cannot both be truthful. So that means their overlap must be good. So 4 must be good, and that actually means its lover is lying. 9 must be good, and then 5 or 6. Well, okay, so 6 is accusing 5, 1 is accusing 6. Okay, well, if 1 was corrupted, then 6 would be good, and that's impossible. Yeah, 1 cannot be corrupted. If 1 is truthful, then 6 is evil. If 1 is evil, then 6 is good. Could be a drunk, maybe. No, there's no drunk because this plague doctor is real. Yes, there's no drunk. So if 1 is... well, 6 could be corrupted if, yeah, if they're next to a puka, or if they're just corrupted by the plague doctor. Right, so 9 is good, and 9 is not a drunk. So that means 9 must be a real poet, 5 is telling the truth, and 5 is not evil. So 6 is lying. Alright, 1 is telling the truth. Okay. 8 is lying. And not corrupted. Yeah, since the wretch is obviously not corrupted, and 5 is telling the truth. Oh, nice. Okay. If I kill the confessor, and the confessor is corrupted, then 9 is a poisoner, and I can kill 9. Okay. I'll just do it. Okay. Fake bombardier. Okay, cool. I guess I would have known that after revealing everybody. Okay, well I have no more leeway. Well, the confessors are a shaman pair. There's no more corruption, so, yeah, any baker who says suspicious things like this can be killed. Okay. The Empress thinks that 1, 4, or 5 is evil. Well, 1 and 4 are not. Okay. Yeah, there's no more corruption. Yeah, so there's only one more evil, and it's the Lilith. If 3 was evil, then 5 would also be evil. And if 5 was evil, then of course 3 would also be evil. Yeah, so it just has to be 6 that's evil. Cool. Alright, so Bishop is truthful. Alchemist is truthful, so that means the Plague Doctor is not. And also, there's no, there's only one outcast. Okay, well, this Plague Doctor is gonna say, like, no matter who I click, it's just gonna say that they're corrupted. Alright, well, I was hoping the fake Plague Doctor would tell me somebody that I wasn't sure about. But that's okay. Let's see if the Fortune Teller is good. Fortune Teller is not good. There's no corruption, so we can just kill anybody who's lying. If there's only one person who's corrupted, I will sometimes just kill anybody who's lying anyway. Alright, so 9 is a druid. Let's flip that. Okay. So any truthful druid, if I click 5, 6, and 8. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so 9 is definitely lying. 7 might be telling the truth because 7. Well, let me just do this and see if the fortune teller is truthful. Okay, the fortune teller is not truthful. All right, but as I was saying, it's possible that 8 is the real outcast and 7 is telling the truth. I'm gonna kill 9. Alright, cool. Well, I guess I can flip the last card now. Okay, well, we know that 8 was not the outcast, so 7 was also lying. Alright, is 3 corrupted? 9 is evil, 3 is corrupted. Okay. 9 is not a real druid. There we go. Alright, Bard is telling the truth. Could be a puppet. Alright, let's see what the druids think. No outcasts and Bombardier. Well, I guess we're just going to flip 9 and see what happens. I could have used the Dreamer ability first. Anyway, there's no... Yeah, 6 is not a wretch, because if 6 was a wretch, 6 would not have died to the Lilith while there were other good people. So this druid must be lying, since... yeah, 4 and 6 have to contain a Bombardier. Okay, well, 3 must not be a puppet then. Oh, since there's no corruption, it's just... Alright, kill the knight, kill the druid, spare the dreamer, kill the hunter, and... yeah, kill the empress, and then if that was somehow wrong, I kill the bombardier. Okay. Cured 2 corruptions. Ah. Okay. Do we have any possible doppelganger pairs? Well, Alchemist, Confessor, Bishop, Empress, Druid, Slayer. Those are all different. So this Bombardier must be real. Okay. That means this Slayer must be good, since, if 6 was evil, then 6 would be a puppeteer or a puppet. If 6 was a puppet, then 5 would have to be a puppeteer, which is not the case. And if 6 was the puppeteer, then there would be no puppet. Anyway, 4, 6, and 8 are not... There's no outcast among those, so kill that guy, and then I guess the Confessor is not dizzy, so we kill the other person. Alright. Oh, we actually have 2 outcasts. This poet claims to be 3 away from closest evil. If that was true, then the 2 evils would be in those 3. And 1 would have to be lying and would have to be corrupted. Okay, if 8 was real, then 1 cannot be the drunk. So 1 would be corrupted by a Puka standing right here. And then 4 would have to be the minion, which I guess is believable, right? So if I kill the poet and the poet is truthful, then it has to be, yeah, 1 is corrupted, 2 is the Puka, and then 4 is evil. Okay. Oh, right, okay. Yeah. So 3 cards away from closest evil. That's still, yeah, still the same thing. And all right, that made me kind of nervous, but yeah, I had it all calculated. Okay. What do we have? Well, we have 2 druids. We have a baker who's probably corrupted. We have a baker who was claiming to be a baker. What I'm thinking, okay, so my first thought was, okay, what if this baker was corrupted? So 1 turned 4 into a baker, and then 4 got corrupted and could not turn 7 into a baker. So that's not possible. 4 could be fake, and then 1 could have turned 7 into a baker. Yeah, 7 is corrupted for sure. Actually, let's see what these druids think. Okay. Yeah, I think either the bakers or the druids have to have a doppelganger. I guess there could be a drunk. Alright, well, let's just kill this druid. Alright, cool. What if this baker's not corrupted? If 9 is evil, then 3 would also be evil. That's too many evils. So 9 is good. Oh, yeah, so 1, 2, and 8 contain a doppelganger. Alright, cool. That's what I thought. Yeah, so I think it's 1 is the doppelganger, and then 4 is the regular baker, and 6 is the Puka that corrupted. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Bishop's telling the truth. That must mean that this judge is not the Puka, since 6 didn't get corrupted. So it's just that scout. Okay. Guess we'll never know if 5's statement would have been true. Oh, we have a witch. Oh, man. But yeah, so we definitely have 2 outcasts. So if the druid does 5, 6, and 9, she probably hits an outcast. There was a chance that there was no outcast among 5, 6, and 9. Because I guess 9 would be a wretch, and like 7 could be a drunk or something. But I believe the druid. Okay, so if 5 is the drunk, then this poet would be telling the truth. What if like all these people are good? Okay, let's just kill this enlightened and see what happens. Alright, cool. Closest evil is not counterclockwise. Oh, that actually makes this very simple, right? Because 6 is not evil. Yet there's only one other evil. So if it's the bombardier, then the closest evil would be counterclockwise. If 5 was evil, it would be, 2 counterclockwise and 7 clockwise. So yeah, so 4 is good, 3 is good. Yeah, so it has to be one of these 4. 2 cannot be evil, because then her statement would be truthful, so 2 is good. Since 6 has to be a real outcast, if 1 was lying, 1 would say no outcasts. 8 is definitely telling the truth. Yeah, so 9 is just a witch. Yep. No corrupted characters. I guess that's probably true. Well, I don't know. I guess it's a 50-50, right? Good job, Knight. Knight blocked a Lilith's kill. It's always good. Well, given that the Knight blocked a Lilith's kill, this judge is almost certainly lying. Could be that 8 is a real Knight. If 8 was a Plague Doctor and corrupted 5, then there's no chance that the Knight would have blocked a kill. So we could just kill, yeah. So 6 is a liar. This Jester. Evils are not adjacent. If that was false, then what, like one of these is evil, the other is corrupted, and they're actually just truthful. Yeah, so the knitters cannot be lying here. Okay, 4 is accusing 8 of being evil. Oh yeah, since both these knitters have to be telling the truth, they must be the doppelganger pair, which means the bard is telling the truth. So it has to be 8 or 4. Awesome. Six is a real Plague Doctor. Definitely want to reveal that. 9 is a real Bishop. Yeah, Bishop is pretty good to have. Ooh, okay. 6 is fake then. Yeah, and 4, I guess we know that 4 is a villager. But yeah, so 4 and 6 do not contain an outcast, which is why I could kill the Plague Doctor. Anyway, that is a real Bishop. Well, unless 9's a doppelganger. Anyway, 1 is not a real Plague Doctor. It was possible that 1 was corrupted and there was a different Plague Doctor. But, I don't know, probably would have been fine. 6 or 9 is a twin minion. That is true. Judge is truthful. Ah, 8 is a wretch. Yep. 8 is good, but also 8 is not good. So we only have 2 outcasts. There must be either a Plague Doctor or a Drunk, or possibly both. So this bard's definitely lying. What does this Druid think? Druid's also lying. The bard corrupted? No. Okay. The Plague Doctor's truthful. 4, 6, and 8 contain 1 of each. That is true. Yeah, so 6 is telling the truth. We don't know if 6 is a puppet. Well, we know that this druid is lying. Oh, okay. Whoops. Okay, well this baker's a liar. Is the baker corrupted? No. Alright, cool. And the Plague Doctor was even telling the truth. This oracle is not telling the truth. This confessor is dizzy, and this baker is also not telling the truth. Okay. What about this fortune teller? Fortune Teller is telling the truth. Yeah, Plague Doctor is definitely truthful. Jester is truthful. Closest evil is counterclockwise. That is false. Does Alchemist really cure 1 corruption? Let's kill the Oracle. Yes. The Alchemist didn't cure 1 corruption, he just tanked it. Good job, Alchemist. No corrupted characters. Oh, good job, Alchemist. The Alchemist cured the Confessor. Baker was a baker. Yeah, so... Yep. So this is 4 away from closest evil. I guess that has to be true. Anytime a scout says 4 or more, they must be telling the truth. Ah, you suck. Alright, there's 9 evil. No. 9 is not evil. Okay. Alright, Dreamer's lying. Oh, there were only 2. I don't... Whatever. For whatever reason, it didn't register. Alright, so we have a Shaman. We have 2 Empresses. Slayer, Oracle Scout, Witness, Gemcrafter, Lover. Okay, those are all different. Yeah, so the 2 Empresses are good. Could be corrupted. They could even both be corrupted. 2 was affected by an evil. That is true. Both of the Empresses and the Shaman pair count as being affected by an evil. Huh. Okay, so 9 thinks that 6 or 7 is evil, and 2 thinks that 5 or 6 is evil. Cool. Since 2 and 3 are good. Poisoner is 1 away from closest evil. That is somewhat believable, actually. 4 or 9 is a Shaman. Well, we know that 9 is good, so 8 is effectively saying that 4 is a Shaman. Huh. I don't know. Let's start by clicking on 2. 1 is evil, 2 is corrupted. Okay. Yeah, I had a feeling... I don't know, I just had a hunch that was the case. Yeah, so 2 is corrupted. That means 5 is good. 4 is lying. Okay. Yeah, 2 is corrupted. Alright, so 9 is effectively accusing 7. Since we know 6 is good at this point. Okay. So 4 is lying. 4 could be corrupted by the Plague Doctor. Let's see. Well, 9 is definitely not evil. Let's see if 4 dies. Nope. Let's kill 7. Okay, cool. So 9 is not corrupted. So I guess it's either 4 or 8. If it's 4, if 4 is evil, then 5 is corrupted. If 8 is evil, then 4 is corrupted. Okay, either way. Two is actually a drunk. Okay. Good job at medium. Okay. 1, 2, and 5. That is Bishop's telling the truth. Dreamer is good. And, yeah. Other lover was the only evil candidate. Okay, well, we have two outcasts, Chancellor and Ba in the same lobby. Look at that. Is that the entire list of outcasts? I think there are only 5 outcasts in the game. What other outcasts are there? I feel like there aren't any. Well, whatever. Let's kill this knight. It'll be funny. Oh, wow, it worked. Good job. Well, what do these dreamers think? Wow, they're both lying. Okay. If 4 was a real bombardier, then 3 would have to be a chancellor, but then 3 would be telling the truth. So yeah, 4 just has to be evil. Alright, what does this fortune teller think? Okay, well the fortune teller's probably telling the truth. Let's kill the confessor. Yeah, alright, got him. Yeah, so fortune teller's truthful. Other fortune teller is not truthful. Okay. What does the fortune teller think about 5? Fortune teller thinks that 5 is good. So the fact that 4 is lying must mean that 4 is evil due to 4 not being next to a poisoner. Okay. Got 2 oracles saying the same thing. Alright. There has to be a shaman pair, so it's just the 2 oracles. It can't be anybody else. So 6 or 8 is a poisoner. Alright, let's kill 6 then. Okay. 1, 5, and 7. Okay. Bishop is telling the truth. 1 and 5 are the outcast and minion. So 7 must be corrupted and good. Yeah, since clearly the bard pointing at 2 bombardiers is clearly not telling the truth. But he's good. So let's kill the architect. Poet's telling the truth. Medium's telling the truth. Let's see what the judge says. Okay, I'm pretty sure the judge has to be truthful. Well, let's kill him just to make sure. Alright, 5 is lying. Yep. Alright, let's end strong. This dreamer thinks the dreamer could be a chancellor. But is the wretch a cabbage? No. Okay, and this lover is also... Alright. That's both of the, it's both the outcasts accounted for. Oh, let's see if 10 dies to Lilith. That'd be very fun. If 10 is the... Yeah, there we go. 10's the chancellor. Okay, well... The evils are definitely not... Actually... The evils could be adjacent if 5 is just the Lilith. 1, 6, and 9 are all good. Oh, so this Empress is lying. Yeah, 1, 6, and 9. There's no corruption remaining. Yeah, 1 is definitely good. 9 is definitely good, and 6 died to Lilith. So yeah, we just kill 8 and call it a day. Cool. Well, thanks for watching yet again. Till next time. I don't know. But yeah, have a good day, everyone.